The following episode is explicit and is intended for mature audiences. Listener and viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, it's Nathaniel Avila reporting from Dallas County, and who are we here with today?
You're here with Clara Avila, also reporting from Dallas County.
What are we talking about today?
Today, first off, welcome to our next episode of our podcast, The Devil in the Details, where we talk about all things Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss. Today we are continuing our episode on Blitz. This is part 2. In the first part, we talked about just his character in general in the canon, as well as some of the non-canon. And now today we are going to continue that.
We were talking about a specific storyline.
Yes.
Before we get into that, what the last short just released today.
That's right. Vizzy just released the final of the 4 shorts that were planned.
Yep. And it is called Mission Chupacabra. Do you want to talk about it, Clara?
I haven't seen it yet, so if you want to tell me about it, you can.
Okay, so the story kind of goes like this. Blitz gets a job in Tijuana, and he goes there, and he's supposed to, his target is this Mexican guy named Gerardo. And Gerardo gets him, and then he thinks he's a chupacabra.
Ah, that's funny.
So he dresses him up like a chupacabra and kind of shows him off to other people. And then I think Dorks is there.
Oh.
Dorks is there, and they're all like, "We'll get you."
Okay.
And then Millie and Moxie come in and save the day, and then Asilo kind of falls and then he kills Gerardo, and then the hit is complete.
Nice.
And then Blitz is freed by like a goat, who then starts a satanic cult.
Oh, that's fun.
And that's it.
Okay. Yeah, sounds like a fun episode.
Would you say that? Well, it's not an episode.
Well, yeah, it was short, whatever.
Yeah. So there wasn't any Amberlynn characters.
Well, yeah, no, she was like a one-off character.
No, I mean like a status of character that everybody loved.
Like a character that's like, oh my gosh, a new character, so cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where everyone's like making fan art of them.
Yeah. Well, you know. That's not gonna happen every single time. So.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for Mission Chupacabra. So do you think we should get some more shorts?
I don't know. I'd like to see some of the actual episodes.
Well, the next episode's coming out next month in
Yes.
October, called Ghost Effers.
Very excited.
And then we have 2 more, one in November and one in December, which is the one in December is the season finale. And it's going to be a Christmas episode. And Vivzy already said in her Instagram that she is currently recording lines for season 3.
Very exciting.
Yeah. The one that she showed in her Instagram was with Bryce Pickman in the studio in Spindlehorse.
Fun.
And I think she also had some people in Zoom. So yeah, that's how it goes. So let's talk. Let's go into the non-canon storyline that we're talking about.
Yes.
Do you remember what happened to our heroes?
So the part that I remember specifically is Moxie getting in with this gang and then sort of backstabbing them because they were going against his morals. I remember that part.
Yeah, some other stuff happened after that.
I know that more stuff happens after that, but I don't remember it.
Okay. What happened after that was that they find Angel Dust and Cherry Bomb
and they fight.
And Fergus in a motel, and then they fight, and then the other members of the Underground, which is the gang that Moxie betrayed,
right,
was there, and then they kind of do a 3-way fight. The Hazbin Hotel crew escapes in the thing. Blitz finds out that Moxie was kidnapped by the Underground. Blitz goes and saves him, and now they're back. So this is what happens. Now we're going to continue on that.
Okay.
So in this part, IMP is pretty much battered and nursing their wounds from the previous fight, and then receives an urgent order from Lucifer, who in the non-canon is a lot more of a villain.
Way more of a villain.
Yeah. So nearly the entire Hazbin Hotel crew, excluding Charlie and Alistair, are heading to the Deep End, which is a nightclub in the Envy Ring.
Ooh.
And owned by Leviathan, the Prince of Envy, and
Leviathan, Charlie's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. And also Leviathan's son.
Yes.
Blitz tries to reason with Lucifer, pointing out that the team needs time to recover, but the King of Hell offers no mercy and demands them to head to the Deep End immediately.
That's right.
And he's all like, ducks? Nah. Being super bad? Yes.
Yes.
Being a good dad?
Nah.
Being super evil
Trying
and
to
bossing
kill
around IMP?
all of my daughter's friends and bossing around this poor group of assassins? Yes.
Yes. You know, do you remember who's in IMP in this non-canon version?
Yeah, so I know that we have Blitz is there, we have Moxie, we have Millie. Is Luna still there?
Luna's still there, the usual suspects.
And then we have some random Catman.
Yeah, Scorpion or something like that. Scorpius, I think.
Scorpius. He's there. There's more.
Yeah.
Who else?
We got Stryker.
Right. Stryker joins in.
Verosika is there.
And Verosika for some reason.
Is there. Vortex is there.
And Vortex, right.
RoboFizz is also there.
Oh, right, RoboFizz.
And Lulu.
And, Lulu the Apple mascot.
Yeah.
From Lululand.
And that's IMP.
And that's not IMP, but it's definitely the group that's going.
Yeah, but this is when I refer to IMP, this is
the
who I'm
expanded IMP.
Yeah, this is who I'm talking about.
Yes.
So... Yeah, so they head over to the Deep End. So the team follows Lucifer's orders, and they use elevator 666 to travel to the Envy Ring. Once there, they ditch a ride in a submarine,
fun.
Which begins transporting them to the underwater nightclub.
That's right, because the Envy Ring is full of fish people.
Right. Now, as they travel, Luna tends to Vortex's wounds, lending to a tender, almost romantic moment.
Ho.
Between the two. And I guess this one Vortex is not dating Beelzebub.
I guess not.
So, yeah. Which is kind of funny. I like how people give Stolas all this crud.
Right. They're like... See, the thing is that it's really funny, because Asmodeus is giving Stolas crap for being with Blitz, and he's with Fizz. At the same time.
Yeah, and Beelzebub
first of all,
is with Vortex,
and Beelzebub is with a Vortex, a Hellhound, which is even lower than an imp.
Yeah. So why are they kind of giving him so much grief?
What's the deal, guys?
Why are they doing that? I mean, I guess Asmodeus, I can understand why you want to keep that exterior, because he's like, I'm the lust guy.
Yeah, he's the lust guy. He can't be in love.
I can't be in love. But that's...
that's stupid.
Okay. So, let me see. Well, I lost my spot. What do you think Luna and Vortex should be in a romantic relationship?
In this?
In Helluva Boss.
In Helluva Boss? Not really.
Why not?
I mean, he's with someone else right now.
Well, people break up, don't they?
Well, that's true, but, I feel like it'd be kind of lame.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why is it kind of lame?
I don't know. He seems happy with Beelzebub.
Okay.
I don't...
So, yeah. Meanwhile, Moxie is resting his head on Millie's lap, expresses his doubts about IMP's ability to survive another encounter with the hotel crew, especially if they have to face Alistair.
Yeah.
Okay, so, so Blitz actually inserts himself in between both Vortex and Luna, breaking up their moment with his usual overprotective fatherly antics. Meanwhile, Moxie is resting his head on Millie's lap, expresses his doubts about IMP's ability to survive another encounter with the hotel crew, especially if they have to face Alistair. Now, Blitz, frustrated with the lack of support for Verosika during their previous battles, chastises her for not pulling her weight. Verosika fires back, saying she doesn't even understand why she's on this mission in the first place.
Yeah, why is she on this mission in the first
she's cool.
place?
Blitz admits that Lucifer's real aim is to punish him, and by extension, everyone he knows. Vortex, curious, questions if the team is nothing more than pawns in Lucifer's game.
They are.
Now Blitz is more determined than ever, stands up and defiantly declares that IMP is not going to let themselves be used as pawns if they're going to prove their worth and skills to Lucifer. And now as the submarine arrives at the deep end, the team finds that the nightclub is hosting Mammals Night.
OMG,
Hooray!
Mammals Night.
A special occasion where an air bubble is placed around the club so non-aquatic demons can participate in the festivities.
Whee!
Before entering, Blitz instructs the cherubs and Scorpius to stay in the submarine, explaining that the cherubs, being angels, and Scorpius's imposing presence would draw too much attention.
Are the cherubs there too?
Yeah, the cherubs are also there.
That's crazy. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, Scorpius, in a comical moment, suggested he could wear a disguise, insisting of fake glasses, a hat, and a tie, much to Millie's amusement, but Blitz promptly shuts the idea down. In your face, Scorpius. You're our favorite character.
I love Scorpius.
You're in all the episodes, and we know you very well. So, once inside, the team scans the club for the hotel crew, only to discover that they haven't arrived yet. Stryker suggests they relax and have some fun while they wait for their targets, ordering a round of drinks from a waitress.
Yay.
Moxie, ever focused, objects to Stryker's carefree attitude, reminding him that they're on a mission, but Stryker and Veronica tell Millie to loosen up for a bit and enjoy the downtime. As the hours pass, the rest of the team ends up letting loose and having a good time. Stryker and RoboFizz put on a dazzling show for the club-goers. With their skills, Veronica takes the stage to perform, and Luna, Vortex, Lulu, Millie, and Moxie find themselves dancing to the disco beats. Meanwhile, Blitz, unlike the others, can't seem to relax. He isolates himself, sulking in the shadows of the club while watching his companions have fun. The weight of his mission and his personal struggles weighing heavily on his mind. Despite the upbeat atmosphere around him, Blitz is left feeling alone and disconnected, burdened by the realization that he's dragging everyone he cares about into danger.
No, he is.
He is. So in your face, Blitz. So Moxie and Millie stepped outside in the front of the club. Blitz, drink in hand, watches them from a nearby balcony. The sight of the couple's closeness weighs heavily on him, but his thoughts are interrupted by none other than Leviathan.
Oh my gosh.
From the Bible.
From the Bible.
Yes. So, yeah. In the Bible, Leviathan is supposed to be this giant sea serpent-like creature.
Yes.
Which kind of makes sense that he's in charge of the Envy Ring.
Yep.
So yeah, he's there, and with a sly grin, Leviathan greeted Blitz and introduces himself. The foe complimented Blitz on his scandalous relationship with Stolas, noting how he had quite a stir among Hell's upper class, and provided plenty of entertaining gossip. However, the conversation quickly took a sharp turn as Leviathan began mocking Blitz, cruelly taunting him for his self-destructive tendencies and poor life choices. He jabbed about Blitz for how he mistreated Veronica and ridiculed his long-abandoned dream of running an imp-led business. Leviathan, clearly enjoying Blitz's discomfort, pointed out that he had been stalking Moxie and Millie, correctly deducing that Blitz is envious of their passionate, loving relationship.
Oh,
and
boy.
he should know because he's the king of envy.
He's the envy guy, you know.
He's the embodiment of envy.
He's the embodiment.
Now we've only seen in the official one. We've only seen Leviathan in photos.
In photos, yes.
In photos, he has yet to make an appearance on either show.
That's correct.
So, what else? Oh yeah, the King of Envy continued into dig deeper, claiming that Blitz was afraid of love, always pushing away everyone who dared care about him. Leviathan then delivered his final cutting blow. He predicted that everyone at IMP would eventually leave Blitz, just like everyone else in his life, because they secretly believed him to be incompetent. He foretold that Blitz would die alone, and with that, Leviathan left to attend to his own business.
Dang, that's brutal.
Leaving Blitz staring despondently at Moxie and Millie below, his confidence shattered. So what do you think?
It's brutal.
Do you think that was a cool thing to do?
Absolutely. I think that was the nicest thing he could have ever done.
Ooh, Leviathan?
Yeah.
So what do you think about the introduction of Leviathan?
It's definitely interesting. That he comes in and he's like, oh my gosh. It's super crazy. I have such a scandalous relationship with Stolas. Also, you suck.
You can't say suck. And he's also like, you're also very envious of Moxie and Millie.
How about I don't say anything?
No!
How about that?
No!
Yes, I can feel the envy in your soul.
Blitz is there. He's all like, you stink. He's getting a beat down.
You're envious of
Molly and
Mixie and Moxie.
Have we explored that dynamic in Helluva Boss?
His jealousy of their relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit. That I don't know if they've focused specifically on it, but it's very clear that Blitz has a certain feels a certain way about Moxie and Millie's relationship. After all, the episode where they go into the lust ring into Asmodeus's club is because Blitz is following Millie and Moxie while they're there for their anniversary.
Wasn't it like a double date?
What?
I thought it was a double date.
No, they didn't even know he was there until, they were like, hey.
Right. Alright, so, what is it? Okay, so after several hours passed, Blitz, the hotel crew, meaning Angel Dust, Cherry Bomb, Vaggie, Husk, Nifty, and our favorite character, Fergus.
No, love Fergus.
Finally arrived. Hooray! At the club.
Hooray!
So they sit down to discuss their plan of breaking into the Von Eldritch family castle, which is like the Leviathan camp.
Yes.
But before they could get too far, Fergus and Stryker locked eyes. Tension filled the air as Fergus activated his arm cannon.
Oh, boy!
And Stryker drew his dual revolvers, and the fight erupted without warning.
Pew, pew.
As chaos spreads to the club, Moxie and Millie quickly return to help their allies while patrons run out of the establishment. Fleeing from the violence, Blitz, hearing the commotion, dashed to the team's submarines and called on Scorpius, telling him it was showtime.
Let's go.
Now the Hellcat, delighted with the prospect of mayhem, grabs his axe and joins the battle, causing mass destruction as he rampaged through the club. Now Scorpius managed to overpower Fergus, beating him down and body slamming him through several floors of the club before they landed on the main floor. However, before Scorpius could deliver the final blow, Cherry Bomb saves Fergus by stunning the Hellcat with her grenades. Now the battle raged on, but IMP had the upper hand, and the hotel crew, now overwhelmed, retreated to Baxter's secondary spaceship.
Oh boy.
So now Baxter's there.
Yes.
Now IMP pursued them using their submarine to give chase. With Robo-Fizz's incredible strength and flexibility, he launched Blitz, Stryker, Millie, and Moxie up into the fleeing crew's ship. Now, where the four imps immediately engaged Fergus, Angel Dust, and Vaggie in hand-to-hand combat. In the middle of the skirmish, Moxie managed to stab Angel Dust through the thigh with a holy knife and fired at the spider demon with his sniper rifle as Angel scrambled for cover. Furious, Fergus tended to his injured friend and retaliated by firing his arm cannon at Moxie. One of Fergus's blasts struck Moxie squarely on the shoulder, sending him crashing over the side of the ship and into the ocean.
No!
Now, seeing her husband fall, Molly abandoned her fight with Vaggie.
Molly?
No, Millie. Molly's
Who's Molly?
Molly is Angel's twin
sister.
sister, who's also a winner.
A winner in heaven, yes.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Millie jumps in. And she dives into the water to rescue him, with Blitz reluctantly following suit, giving up his pursuit of the hotel crew. Underwater, Millie frantically searched for Moxie, but couldn't find him in the murky depths. As she struggled, the weight of the situation began to take its toll.
No.
And she started to drown.
No!
Blitz, who had followed her, tried to drag Millie to the surface, but found himself running out of air as well. Now both imps, weakened and without oxygen, began to pass out. Just before they could succumb to the depths, Luna and Vortex swam in and rescued them by pulling them back into the submarine.
Let's go!
Saving them from drowning.
But what about Moxie?
Now with Blitz and Millie barely conscious, IMP had narrowly escaped a deadly situation. But the toll of the battle and Leviathan's cruel words weighed heavily on Blitz's mind. Oh yeah.
Dang.
Now Blitz and Millie slowly wake up in the submarine, surrounded by the rest of the team. Millie immediately, and with desperation in her voice, asks Luna and Vortex where Moxie is. And Luna's expression falls.
No.
And Vortex, with a deep regret, informs them that that Moxie didn't make it.
No!
So Moxie's dead.
No!
So what do you think? Do you think that's a good way for Moxie to die?
Like in general or in the non-canon?
In the non-canon, but do you think that we should?
I don't think that should happen.
You don't think there should be a major character death where Moxie gets killed?
I never think that there should be a major character death unless. No, I don't think that there should be a major character death.
You don't think Moxie should?
No,
die?
I don't think Moxie should die. Major character deaths are very they're definitely a touchy subject because it's like why would you do that? It would have to be super, super important to the plot, and for there to be no other way for it to have been able to happen.
Okay.
Without their death.
What if it's like a character nobody likes?
I mean, I don't know.
That's how I felt when Black Widow died.
Is that?
No, I didn't.
Some people are gonna.
No, I'm kidding. I love Black Widow.
Some people who are also Marvel fans are gonna be like, "What did he say?"
No, I love Black Widow. I think she's a great character, and I'm sad that she's dead.
You heard it here first, guys. Daniel hates Black Widow.
No, I love Black Widow. I'm also she's only dead because Scarlett Johansson wanted out of the contract, and and they had to kill her off her character.
That's what happens. Anyways.
But anyway, yeah, Buckzo didn't make it. He's
Moxie
dead.
Is dead.
He's dead. He's dead as a door now, and we never see him again. So the weight of his words hits like a sledgehammer. Blitz is left in a stunned silence, too shocked to react at first. Millie, however, refuses to accept it. She falls into a state of paranoid denial, tearfully insisting that Moxie must still be alive, and there has to be something, anything they can do to save him. But the reality settles in as the team stands without a solution. Isn't that sad?
That's very sad.
Now Millie finally breaks down in uncontrollable sobs, and her world shattered by the loss of her husband. Now Blitz, silently mourning, keeps his own grief bottled up, which is very healthy.
Very healthy.
But the cracks are showing. The air of the submarine feels heavier as morale plummets. Blitz, on the verge of tears himself, decides to call Lucifer and inform him of Moxie's fate. Now this isn't the understanding Lucifer.
No.
He's not the more than anything Lucifer.
No.
He's the get out of my face Lucifer.
He's the I'm gonna do bad things to your
You're not more than
daughter.
You're not more than anything.
You're not more than anything. You're less than trash.
You're less than anything. You're less than anything.
Less than anything.
That's Lucifer.
That's that Lucifer.
So yeah, but as expected, Lucifer has no strong reaction, coldly brushing off the loss.
Yeah, of course. Why would he care?
Now, desperate and pleading, Blitz levels with the King of Hell. He knows that Lucifer set the entire mission up as a way to punish him. Personally, Blitz begs Lucifer to release the rest of the team from their mission, offering to confront the hotel crew alone. But Lucifer, as heartless as ever, refuses to compromise. He tells Blitz to simply, quote-unquote, do a better job at defending his allies.
Wow.
What a good guy. before hanging up the call without a second thought. The coldness of it all shatters Blitz's composure entirely. In a blind rage, Blitz smashes his hell phone and begins vigorously punching the wall, in raw mix of sadness, anger, and guilt boiling over. His punches grow weaker until he collapses on the ground, unable to hold back the tears any longer. Now he breaks down completely, the weight of losing Moxie, his friend and loyal teammate, proving too much to bear.
Oh, no.
Meanwhile, in the other room, Millie continues to mourn the loss of Moxie,
Of course.
her heartbroken sobs filling the air. Scorpius enters the room, sees no other way to help her. He silently sits down next to her and gently strokes her head,
Poor thing.
offering a quiet form of comfort. A simple gesture, though small, provides Millie with some semblance of solace. She tearfully leans against Scorpius for comfort, unable to stop crying, but finding a tiny bit of strength from the Hellcat's quiet presence as they both mourn the tragic loss of her husband. Isn't that sad, Clara?
It's very sad. It's incredibly sad.
Now let's move on to the Green Wedding.
Yes, the so-called green wedding that you call it.
Now the mood aboard the submarine is somber as IMP and their allies gather to remember Moxie. Millie, too overwhelmed with grief, is unable to speak, leaving Blitz to deliver a heartfelt eulogy. From a rare, vulnerable moment, he expresses deep regret for taking Moxie for granted, acknowledging the vital role Moxie played in the team and in his life. Luna, in her own way, also gives a eulogy, but it's less touching once it's revealed that she just copied it from a movie script that she was reading off her phone.
Oh, that's... Of course.
Still, the crew takes a moment to honor their fallen comrade, and the shared grief strengthens their resolve.
That's a moment of silence for Moxie.
Should we see Moxie die?
I don't...
By the hands of Fergus,
No.
our favorite character?
I don't think Fergus should make an appearance just to kill Moxie.
Okay, so, with the Remembrance is over, Blitz and Millie, angrier than ever, now laser focused in their mission to kill the hotel crew, seeking revenge for Moxie's death. Millie, consumed by her rage, even expresses the desire to kill Lucifer for his indirect role in her husband's demise.
Oh no, don't do that, girl.
Now, Stryker, ever the pragmatist, warns her that if she tries to attack the King of Hell, he would be forced to kill her.
Yep.
Blitz, knowing Stryker's long-held hatred of Hell's nobility, challenges him, asking why he wouldn't just let Moxie take the shot at Lucifer.
Moxie?
I mean, Millie.
Millie. Get your M names right.
No.
Nathaniel?
Stryker reminds Blitz that killing Lucifer is his goal, and no one else will take him from that.
Of course.
Stryker then reveals that he had overheard the hotel crew's plans while eavesdropping at the deep end. According to him, the crew was heading to Hellantis.
Hellantis?
Yes, the Leviathan castle.
Oh.
Armed with his knowledge, IMP gears up with their most powerful weaponry, ready to finish what they started. Before making their move, the team attacks a convoy delivering supplies to the castle, brutally killing everyone except the Marine's driver. Blitz holds the driver at gunpoint, demanding that he sneak them into the Leviathan castle, while Scorpius, ever the opportunist, begins devouring the convoy's food supplies. So what do you think, Clara?
Sounds like a plan.
Do you think they'll defeat Leviathan?
Do I think that they'll defeat Leviathan? I am not sure. So far, it's been very hit or miss with their tasks.
Because they were hired to kill the hotel crew.
They're hired to kill the hotel crew, and so far they have not.
Instead, one of the hotel crew killed them.
Instead one of the hotel crew killed them.
Killed Moxie. So the submarine makes its way to Hellantis, where a massive Leviathan castle looms, surrounded by an air bubble to accommodate the arrival of Charlie Morningstar. Now, the infiltration goes smoothly, with IMP and their allies hiding among the supply crates as they enter the castle grounds undetected. Once the submarine parks outside the castle, the team explodes into action, blitzing the guards and fighting as a unified force. Blitz, shines in the chaos, snipping several sirens and using his serrated hunting knife to decapitate 5 guards with brutal efficiency.
Oh.
Now, thanks to the air bubble, the more formidable monstrous guards, such as the Kraken that serves Leviathan family. Clara.
Yes.
So there's a Kraken.
The Kraken. Of course there's a Kraken.
Now, because of that, they're unable to join the battle, leaving the team relatively unchallenged as they advance. Before the Envy Ring army can mobilize, IMP bars the castle doors behind them, giving them a moment to catch their breaths and survey their surroundings. Blitz, in a rare show of concern, tells the team to split up and search for their targets, but with a word of caution. He warns them to stay safe, and vulnerability he seldom shows. The only exception to his sentiment is RoboFizz, who Blitz doesn't bother giving safety warning to, knowing the robot's nature.
He's just a robot.
Now with that, the team splits up, determined to finish their mission and finally exact their revenge on the hotel crew, while the tension of their mounting confrontation hangs heavily in the air.
Oh boy.
So what do you think? Do you think they're going to get the hotel crew?
I don't think so.
No! Now as the battle rages on, Millie and Scorpius unleash their fury on half the hotel crew, while the rest of IMP and their allies converge at the source of the commotion. Their arrival led to the much-anticipated confrontation with the radio demon himself, Alistair.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Now, upon spotting Alistair, Blitz immediately shouted a warning to the team, demanding that Luna leave the fight, but Luna, stubborn as ever, refused and insulted Alistair to his face.
Oh no, girl.
Completing a bet she had made with Vortex. Now the massive skirmish broke out in full force. Stryker, Scorpius, and the Cherubs targeted Alistair, but the radio demon fought them off effortlessly using his powerful demonic magic. His sinister grin never faltered as he deflected attacks and countered with overwhelming force. Meanwhile, a vengeful Millie set her sights on Fergus, driven by her need to avenge Moxie's death. Despite her ferocity, Fergus overpowered her, slamming her into the wall with such force that she's knocked out cold.
Oh no.
So, Clara.
What?
How do you think Alistair would react to getting insulted?
He'd turn his head and do that little kick thing, you know?
And he'd be like, "That's hilarious."
He'd be like, "Wow, what a funny joke. I've never heard anything funnier since the stock market crash
of 1929. So many orphans. Oh, I said that.
And then
that's my catchphrase.
His eyes would turn into old radio dials and go.
Okay, that's his thing.
And then there'd be some static behind him.
And then he would have his antlers would grow.
His antlers would grow a little larger, and his teeth would turn to static.
His teeth turns to static?
Yeah, it would become like the radio style.
Okay.
Little radio teeth. You know what I mean.
I guess. Now, seeing Millie fall, Blitz charged at Fergus with his serrated knife, determined to avenge his fallen friend. Now, the fight between Blitz and Fergus was brutal. Fergus used his strength to body slam and punch Blitz, while the imp slashed and stabbed with all his might. During the brawl, Blitz vowed to kill Fergus in Moxie's honor. In the midst of the fight, Fergus revealed something that shook Blitz to his core. Fergus didn't kill Moxie.
Oh my gosh, who could have expected?
You'll never guess who did it.
Who did it?
It was Lucifer, who had orchestrated the entire assassination plot, making IMP nothing more than the pawns of his twisted game.
Oh my gosh.
That was such a big plot twist, and we didn't know that already.
I couldn't even believe it. Who could have even thought ever?
It's like we knew that already.
Yeah.
So, Fergus's words hit Blitz hard somehow, because I thought he already knew that.
He already knew. I guess not, because he called Lucifer and was like, "They killed Moxie," and Lucifer was just like, "I don't care." Not necessarily like, "Actually, I killed Moxie."
From a certain point of view, I killed Moxie.
From a certain point of view, I orchestrated things to make sure that Moxie would die.
Okay. So, So Fergus, still holding Blitz against the wall, urged him to break free from Lucifer's control.
Break free.
Telling
You've
him
got to break free. Okay.
Telling him he didn't have to be Lucifer's pawn any longer. Before the weight of these words could fully settle, Scorpius came barreling in, shoulder charging Fergus and knocking him a few feet away.
Get out of here, Fergus.
Fleeing Blitz from his grip. The chaotic fight reached a new level when Alistair, in his eerie, powerful way, decided to end the clash between the two teams. With a flick of his magic, he separated the combatants by collapsing part of the ceiling, cutting off IMP from the hotel crew.
Oh.
Taking advantage of the distraction, the hotel crew retreated into the castle's throne room.
Oh boy. Off they go.
So how do you think about this epic crossover?
There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of fighting. There's not a lot of downtime. Moxie is dead.
So would you want to see this as a potential crossover
Would
story?
I want to see this as a potential crossover story? Honestly, no.
Why not?
It's really dramatic.
It's not. You don't like it to be dramatic? What do you want it to be? Slice of life comedy?
I want it to not be this dramatic.
Okay. Well, also Stolas isn't in it.
Yeah, Stolas isn't in it. I mean, I like a little bit of drama mixed in with like the comedy and action, but this is like a lot of drama,
okay.
And I'm sure, because you're just giving me the synopsis, so I'm sure that things are a little bit more paced out, properly.
Uh-huh.
Maybe, I don't know.
So you don't want to see...
But I don't, what I don't want to see is IMP fighting the hotel crew.
You don't want to see that? I thought it'd be really fun.
You would think it's fun, but I'm not for me. No, thank you.
Okay. So, So as the rubble piled up, Scorpius and other members of IMP began clearing the debris to continue the chase. Blitz, however, stood momentarily stunned by Fergus's words, questioning the true nature of their mission. But Scorpius, using his axe, cleared the rest of the rubble, and the team pressed on, determined to confront the hotel crew once more. They persuaded the hotel crew into the throne. They pursued the hotel crew into the throne room where chaos reigned. Leviathan, now engaged... not engaged.
Reigns.
Yeah, Leviathan, now enraged after Charlie had just assaulted him to protect Leviathan, prepared to kill everyone in the throne room.
Oh, boy.
The tension was palpable as Leviathan gathered his power, ready to unleash his wrath on everyone present.
And they shoot him.
Now, just as Leviathan is about to strike, Baxter made a dramatic entrance, piloting his spaceship through the castle's air bubble and crashing it straight to the window.
Oh.
In the ship, we have Crimini and 8 angels. The spaceship crushed Leviathan beneath its weight, causing the throne room to flood as water poured in through the shattered castle walls.
I was about to say, there's going to be a power stream coming in.
Now, the scene devolved into chaos as the room filled with water, and IMP found themselves battling against both the hotel crew and the rising tides, with Leviathan's massive frame trapped beneath the shipwreck. So, yeah. A little context here.
A little context.
The wedding part of the Green Wedding is supposed to be an arranged marriage between Charlie and Leviathan.
Yeah, but you didn't mention that part until right now.
Yeah, I'm mentioning that right now.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be a marriage between Leviathan and Charlie, and it's supposed to be like some kind of diplomatic thing that for Leviathan to secure more power and eventually overthrow Lucifer as the king of hell, and he'll become the king of hell. So, Leviathan and Charlie were actually just good friends, but they didn't love each other, and Charlie was only doing it out of obligation until when Leviathan realized that Charlie doesn't love him in that way, he was like, I refuse to marry her, and then that's when Leviathan got upset, and then that's when IMP became person.
Okay, I see.
Do you think we should see that in season 5?
Again, no.
You don't want to see the Green Wedding?
No.
Why not?
Because that would mean that IMP shows up.
Okay. You don't want to see IMP showing up?
I don't, again, as I stated when you asked me before, I don't want this as a crossover.
No! So IMP and the hotel crew find themselves narrowly surviving the chaos, swimming to the surface just as a massive catastrophe looms over the Envy Ring. Blitz,
Uh-oh.
filled with nerves but determined, aims his sniper rifle at the hotel crew. But before he could shake the shot, the ocean and surrounding water suddenly intensify. Water levels rise across all 7 rings, and the waves becoming monstrous and violent, signaling the arrival of something far more terrifying.
Uh-oh.
In the distance, a giant tail breaches the horizon, and from the depths of the ocean, a gargantuan clawed hand emerges. Both IMP and the hotel crew look on in awe as the horror as Leviathan rises from the ocean in his true monstrous form.
I expected that.
How dare you?
How dare you?
How could you possibly expect that?
You said he was a massive claw. I was like,
I didn't say it was
that's
a massive
Leviathan.
claw.
That's what you just said. You said a massive claw.
Oh, yeah.
Does it have a massive tail? I'm like, that's Leviathan.
Okay.
Because you said he had grown bigger. Like he was big or something.
Well, he was a
underneath the
giant sea
shipwreck.
serpent in the
He was
Bible.
a giant sea serpent. But you said that his massive form was underneath the shipwreck, and now he's even bigger.
Right.
Continue.
Yeah. Have you seen like how his official like design looks? He just looks
From
like
the
a guy.
Bible or
Not in the Bible.
this?
In
Yes,
the
I've
universe.
seen the official.
Where
You've shown
he's
it
just
to
like
me.
a guy.
He's just like a guy.
He looks like
He
a
just
fish
looks
guy.
like a dude. I assume he grows bigger like the other.
I'm sure he has like a demon form, like all the other ones.
He grows larger, like the other guys.
Yeah. So Leviathan's fury is palpable, and he blames them all. Leviathan, the hotel crew, and IMP for destroying his chances of having Charlie marry Leviathan, a
Dang.
plan that had been central to his power and ambitions.
Dang.
Now, with his wrath fully unleashed, Leviathan generates a devastating earthquake, tearing the small island beneath them apart.
Oof.
He then summons a massive tidal wave that consumes everyone. Believing that he has killed all of his enemies in one fell swoop, Leviathan begins focusing his destructive energy on causing mass devastation across all 7 rings of hell.
Oh no.
Yes. Do you think he'll survive? He'll win? Do you think he'll do it?
The circumstances are really bad for everyone. But it's you never know. It's possible.
Do you think
If IMP maybe teams up with the hotel crew,
that would be dumb?
you think it would be dumb?
Yeah, they need to like just fight each other the entire time.
Okay. And then we can all die because Leviathan kills us all.
Yes.
Because we were focused on fighting each other instead of this giant monster who's
Yeah.
clearly going to crush all of us.
Yeah, it's a metaphor for life.
It's a metaphor for life. Continue.
Because we're too busy fighting each other, and not the real enemy.
And not the real enemy.
Which is a giant sea serpent.
A giant sea serpent that we can all see every day walking around.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, now IMP and the hotel crew were left struggling. No, I already said that. No, that's right. So, with the hotel crew are left struggling, drowning in the rising water, unable to breathe. At one point, Fergus surprisingly saves Blitz, pulling him to the surface when he begins to lose consciousness. Just as it seems like all hope is lost, Leviathan, tapping into his hydrokinesis abilities, manages to calm the tidal wave and prevent everyone from drowning.
Yes.
He saves both teams and guides them to a small island. So what do you think? Fergus just saved Blitz from drowning. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
So now there's a bridge.
And now, yes, well, yeah, that's what I was saying, because that makes the most sense story-wise.
Yes.
Continue.
No, they're actually far from safe, Clara.
Well, of course they're far from safe. There's a giant monster.
Now, the storm rages around them with violent winds and sideways rain, making it nearly impossible to recompose themselves. On the small island, Charlie and Leviathan address the hotel crew, urgently explaining that they must stop Leviathan before he destroys hell itself. Now, the situation is dire. Before the hotel crew can act, Blitz, ever focused on his mission, holds them at gunpoint again. He flippantly tells them that he and his team still need to kill them to ensure their own safety. What do you think of that, Clara?
It makes sense.
that
They gotta team up.
That Blitzø would pull a gun on them.
Oh.
That made sense.
Oh, I totally missed that part. Read it again.
Okay, so Blitz, focused on the mission, holds them at gunpoint again.
Oh, I see.
And he flippantly tells them that he and his team still need to kill them to ensure their own safety.
Oh, I see. All right. I don't know what happened to my brain, but I got confused.
Yeah.
Please continue.
So do you think that's cool for Blitz
Do
to
I
do?
think that's cool for Blitz to do? No! I think it doesn't make any sense. But he is clearly still very afraid for what will happen if he doesn't.
Now, Charlie, confused by IMP's presence and their motives, asks who they are. Blitz, eager to show off, introduces his team with flair, confidently claiming that they're famous assassins. However, in a humorous twist, Charlie has absolutely no idea who they are.
Of course. So funny.
You think that's your humor that you needed, right, Clara? That's the humor you wanted, right?
I guess.
Now, Blitz, unbothered by her lack of recognition, grins and assures her that it doesn't matter whether she knows them or not. She'll remember them forever after they kill her friends.
That's funny.
Do you think Blitz should kill their friends?
No.
Even though Leviathan is still doing his thing in the background?
Yeah, Leviathan is literally, getting ready to destroy the entirety of hell.
And Blitz only cares about
and
killing
Blitz only
the
cares
hotel
about
crew.
killing Charlie's friends.
Yeah. Now, as tensions rise, Fergus and Angel Dust step in, telling Charlie that Blitz and his team have been hunting them for weeks, which sparks a comedic argument between the two sides. Blitz, Fergus, and Angel Dust trade barbs, their frustration escalating into a ridiculous back and forth, but Charlie soon puts an end to the squabble. Looking at Blitz with grim determination, Charlie tells him that she's going to have to save her kingdom from Leviathan, and if there's any goodness left in him, he would let her do so. With that, she turns and begins walking toward the next challenge, stopping Leviathan's rampage. The rest of the hotel crew follows her, leaving Blitz and IMP to decide what comes next. For a brief moment, Blitz is left standing there conflicted as the storm rages on.
Oh no.
Do you think
Let the storm rage on?
Do you think Blitz will kill her friends?
Honestly, I probably not.
No! Now, at the pivotal moment when Blitz faces a choice between following orders or following his conscience, Lucifer contacts him.
Oh boy.
Through a magical screen. The King of Hell, ever cold and calculating, inquires about Blitz's current position and orders him to finish the job right in front of Charlie.
No.
Now kill everyone in the hotel crew, sparing only Charlie. Blitz, however, finds himself grappling with Charlie's words of hope and redemption still fresh in his mind. His rifle, aimed at the retreating hotel crew, Blitz hesitates. After a long moment of intense indecision, he lowers his weapon, realizing that he cannot go through with the mission. Instead, he makes the decision to stand with the hotel crew and help them stop Leviathan.
I told you that would happen.
No, it took him long enough.
Well, it's Blitz, you know.
Yeah. Blitz's unexpected choice inspires the rest of IMP without hesitation.
Yeah.
Now the entire team, including their allies, stages a full-blown mutiny against Lucifer. They decide to join forces with the hotel crew in their mission to save Hell from the destruction caused by Leviathan. As soon as Blitz makes his fateful choice, however, the soul contract he had signed with Lucifer activates, nearly erasing him from existence. Just as Blitz begins to fade from reality, the contract suddenly deactivates.
Oh!
In a stunning reveal, Moxie, miraculously survived his previous injury, had infiltrated Lucifer's castle.
I kind of thought that was going to happen.
How did you know?
I'm not going to kill off Moxie.
They don't say how he survived, though.
Yeah.
And how he ended up back in the Pride Ring.
Yeah.
And how he ended up in Lucifer's castle.
Not important.
But he used a... So he used a holy rifle to destroy the contract.
Nice.
Freeing Blitz from Lucifer's control. After successfully destroying the contract, Moxie quickly sneaks out of the castle before Lucifer or his minions can locate the source of the shot. With Lucifer unable to punish IMP, the tables turn in favor of the newly united team.
Yay!
Back in the Envy Ring, tensions remain high. Fergus sparks an argument with the members of IMP, criticizing them of their sudden decision to help the hotel crew after spending weeks trying to kill them. Millie, still harboring a deep resentment for Moxie's near death, viciously chews Fergus out, blaming him for what happened. Fergus, for the first time, offers a sincere apology.
Okay.
Though Millie is too heartbroken to forgive him fully.
Of course.
It starts with sorry.
Blink, blink.
I'm sorry for killing your husband.
So sorry.
I hope you could forgive me for killing your husband.
Sorry.
I would do it again if I had the chance. I'm not really sorry.
Not sorry.
But it starts with sorry, and I do it again.
Okay.
If you remarried, I will kill that husband too.
And then I will say sorry.
So, the argument escalates.
Uh-huh.
And Baxter steps out of his spaceship after running some quick calculations, points out that both teams are doomed unless they can learn to work together.
Come on, guys. We're all in this together.
Okay. According to him, their inability to communicate due to their intense rivalries will lead to their deaths. Vaggie puts an end to the bickering, ordering both teams to focus on the bigger threat, Leviathan.
That's right. Literally the bigger threat.
Yeah. Now Charlie steps up, eagerly trying to unite the group, telling them that they must learn to work together. Much to the disgust of Fergus and a few IMP members who are still at odds with their former enemies.
Yes.
Despite the underlying tension, Charlie optimistically tells them that they can learn to trust each other if they can come out of this battle as friends. She uses her relationship with Leviathan as an example of how enemies can find common ground. Reluctantly, Blitz and Fergus agrees to put aside their differences for the time being, promising to work together. You think they'll work together?
They're gonna have to.
Okay, so now as one united front, IMP and the hotel crew rush off to confront Leviathan and save Hell from the oceanic apocalypse that threatens to engulf everything. As they run into battle, Blitz humorously reflects on the madness of the situation, claiming that he might be on drugs, but admits that killing a sin has its appeal. He rallies the team, and with his visual wild energy shouting, "Lick D words and eat some A B word."
Okay.
Hilarious. A battle cry that perfectly captures the chaotic, irreverent spirit of IMP.
Ah!
Now the final battle begins with Leviathan looming over Hell, relishing the destruction he has unleashed. The united team coordinates a massive offensive from all sides. Fergus blasts Leviathan with his robotic arm cannon, while Luna, Striker, Blitz, Angel Dust, and Cherry Bomb enlist their respective firearms with a relentless barrage. Now Cherub attacks from above, using the crossbows to pepper Leviathan with arrows. Baxter, piloting his spaceship, launches missile strikes on the enormous serpent. With every member of the united team playing their part, the battle against Leviathan reaches its climax as the fate of Hell hangs in the balance. Are they going to defeat Leviathan?
Maybe.
I guess we'll never know. Now, as the battle with Leviathan intensifies, IMP's firearms prove ineffective against the gargantuan sea serpent. Despite the barrage of bullets and attacks, nothing seems to penetrate Leviathan's thick, armored scales. Leviathan, charging up energy within his maw, unleashes a terrifying bolt of lightning that nearly incinerates Luna and Millie.
Oh no!
Blitz, with quick reflexes, shoves them out of the way, saving them from certain death. Immediately, Blitz orders Scorpius to lead an offensive attack, knowing that their best shot is with the Lord of Wrath's Holy Fire Axe. So I guess that's the axe that Scorpius has.
I guess so.
I guess it's Satan's
Satan's battle axe?
Yes. Scorpius leaps into the sea serpent's back, hacking away with wild abandon.
Go!
Leviathan shifts his attention to Millie, attempting to devour her whole. Desperate to save her, Blitz and Striker team up, unloading their holy firearms at the King of Envy, only to come to a terrifying realization. Even holy weapons can't pierce through Leviathan's massive, impenetrable scales.
Oh, no.
Panic begins to set in as Leviathan turns his focus to Cletus, Keeney, and Colin, clearly excited at the prospect of devouring cherubs.
The cherubs.
They're your favorite characters, right?
I love Cletus and Cleany and Colin.
Yeah.
That was, one of their names was Cleany, right?
No. No, yeah, Cleany. No, Keeney.
Oh, Keeney.
It's Cletus, Keeney, and Colin. Now, during the chaos, Nifty saves Millie from drowning as Leviathan's tail slams into a large rock, sending shockwaves through the battlefield. So isn't that nice that Nifty saves Millie?
Yeah, so nice that Nifty saves Millie.
You think they're going to be best friends?
No.
Why not?
I don't, maybe.
That would be so nice. But don't worry. Just as all hope seems lost, Alistair appears.
Alistair.
With his signature grin, asking if he had missed anything. Oh, have I missed anything?
Have I missed anything?
Mackadish. Blitz, visibly annoyed, tells Alistair to stop the theatrics and use his radio overlord BS to help them fight Leviathan. Alistair obliges, summoning his doll and shadow minions to aid in the battle. Alistair makes a move, saving Colin from being devoured by Leviathan with the help of his shadow minions. Enraged, Leviathan retaliates by shooting a bolt of lightning directly at Alistair, but the Overlord quickly dematerializes, avoiding the strike with ease. Meanwhile, Blitz continues to shoot at Leviathan with his holy rifle, but the serpent only seems more amused than threatened. Blitz finds himself in a deadly chase as Leviathan sadistically taunts him, clearly relishing in the imp's desperation. Blitz hides under an elevated rock, hoping to throw Leviathan off his tail. For a moment, he seems safe, until Leviathan summons disembodied tentacles from the ocean,
No!
grabbing Blitz by all of his limbs and suspending him into midair.
No!
The tentacles begin to tear at Blitz's body as it becomes clear that Leviathan is toying with him, slowly ripping him apart. Just as the situation becomes dire, Luna and Scorpius team up and rescue Blitz.
Yay!
Luna grabs her father while Blitz slices through the tentacles with his holy axe.
You mean Scorpius?
I mean, yeah, what did I say?
You said Blitz.
Blitz also does it. Scorpius slices through the tentacles. Now the imp is saved, but Leviathan is very much a threat. Still. During the brief moment of respite, Charlie, always the optimist, offers Blitz a job at the Hazbin Hotel. Which
real nice,
I guess
Charlie.
that's appropriate to do.
Really good timing. Very nice. Always got to promote the hotel, you know.
You think
Rain or
Blitz,
shine.
You think Blitz would
No.
work at the Hazbin Hotel?
I think he'd be terrible at it.
Why? What would he be?
What do you mean? What would he be? He wouldn't be anything. There's nothing for him to do.
He would be the concierge.
He'd be the entertainment.
I guess.
What do you mean? You guess?
Now, initially Blitz laughs thinking that she's joking, but the laughter grows louder when she realizes that Charlie is completely serious. The absurdity of the offer in the middle of such a chaos leaves him dumbfounded.
Yeah, me too, buddy.
But then RoboFizz enters!
Yay!
Cheered on by Lulu from the sidelines. Using all of his robotic limbs, RoboFizz attempts to tie up Leviathan's tentacles, but his efforts are in vain. Leviathan easily overpowers the robot, tearing him apart with his godlike strength.
Good thing he's just a robot.
Now RoboFizz's head and torso smash into the boulder, and his severed head lands in front of Blitz. With the last of his energy, RoboFizz mockingly wishes Blitz farewell before shutting down permanently.
It's a good thing that he's not the only RoboFizz in the world.
Okay. At first, Blitz bursts into tears, seemingly devastated by the destruction of RoboFizz. Fergus, seeing his tears, attempts to comfort him, thinking Blitz is mourning the loss. However, Blitz's tears turn into loud, uncontrollable laughter. It becomes clear that his tears were actually of elation, as he's thrilled to be finally rid of RoboFizz. It's not like he's real Fizz.
Yeah, exactly.
Blitz laughs uproariously, finding a twisted joy in the robot's demise, much to the confusion of those around him. Now, as Blitz's laughter echoes across the battlefield, the final confrontation with Leviathan continues to loom.
Finally. Final.
It's like Attack on Titan, where it's like everything's
Right?
final.
I'm like, everything's like, how many times are we going to fight, you know?
Yeah. As Leviathan's monstrous storm raged on, Charlie and Alistair attempted a combined energy beam to harm the sea serpent. Their efforts are impressive, but ultimately futile, as Leviathan retaliated with a vicious lightning storm that injured both of them. Forcing the teams to take over, in an act of desperation, some members shielded each other from further harm as Stryker, in a moment of triumph, killed the Kraken Leviathan that summoned to assist him.
Oh, nice.
The teams, having to temporarily split up to deal with different threats, quickly reunited, only to find themselves back in danger. Leviathan, realizing that he could now intensify the storm, did so with malevolent glee. The sudden burst of power knocked Millie and Nifty into the ocean, and several members of both of the hotel crew and IMP, without hesitation, dove in after them to save them from drowning. Seizing the moment, Leviathan summoned a powerful whirlpool near their location, dragging everyone deeper underwater, leaving the team struggling to stay afloat.
Oh, boy.
With nearly all of his enemies in one place invulnerable, Leviathan charged up a massive lightning attack from his maw. Charlie, seeing the imminent danger, desperately created an energy shield around the team, but the shield wasn't fully charged. Before Leviathan's powerful lightning bolt attack, the impact of the attack caused a devastating explosion that sent both teams flying off into the ocean, their bodies scattered and battered by the immense force.
Oh, no.
Despite the overwhelming situation, Charlie used her powers to pull everyone into the small island. As they regrouped, they began to tend to each other's injuries. Luna checked on both Blitz and Vortex, who were weak and battered. Blitz, over the sarcastic imp, weakly insulted Charlie's failed attempt to protect them with her shield. But the team's morale is clearly low after the near-fatal encounter. Leviathan, assuming victory was at hand, prepared to finish them off with another lightning strike. However, just as he is about to unleash the final blow, a sudden green lightning bolt struck him from behind. The attack didn't harm him, but it was enough to get his attention, and Leviathan turned to see the force of the strike. His own son,
Leviathan.
Glaring at him with pure, unfiltered hatred. Isn't that epic, Clara?
Absolutely epic.
It's lay epic sauce.
Yeah.
So,
Why are you laughing?
No, I was just thinking of something else. Now,
Okay.
Leviathan, enraged by his son's betrayal, slithered menacingly towards him, his massive form towering over the prince. Leviathan stood his ground, defiant, ready to confront his father for all the destruction and chaos he had caused. As the confrontation loomed, Millie, injured but determined, staggered to her feet. Nifty, recognizing the imp's resolve, handed her Scorpius's axe, knowing that Millie wouldn't back down from a fight. Weakly but with force, determination in her eyes, Millie told Nifty to follow her as they both run off to the impending battle, ready to strike back against the King of Envy and put an end to the nightmare once and for all again.
Finally.
Maybe they'll do it this time.
Fingers crossed.
Now, after Leviathan underhandedly defeats Charlie by exploiting her conscience, all hope seems lost for the United Team. Leviathan, unsure of what to do, stands frozen as his father looms victorious. That is, until Fergus shouts, "Use the fish!" A mocking reminder of Leviathan's often ridiculed ability to communicate with sea creatures. In that instance, Leviathan recalls both Fergus's teasing and his father's teaching about the power of his marine telepathy. Desperate and determined, Leviathan telepathically calls out to the sea life of Envy, begging for their help. At first, his calls go unanswered, and panic starts to creep in, but then, after mere seconds, his marine telepathy fully activates, and millions of sea creatures rise from the depths of Envy's ocean to aid them and his allies. Now, the sight of nothing was nothing short of awe-inspiring, leaving both the united team and Leviathan himself in shock. Massive sea creatures, whales, shark, octopi, and all manner of marine life begin to swarm Leviathan, attacking the King of Envy from all sides, distracting him and causing him to lose focus. Taking advantage of the chaos, Millie and Nifty hitch a ride on the back of a colossal octopus, allowing them to reach Leviathan's side wound, which he sustained during an earlier battle with Charlie. Once they arrive at the wound, the two crawl inside Leviathan's massive body. Millie hands Nifty a blessed knife, instructing her to start cutting from the inside. As Nifty begins to eviscerate Leviathan's innards, slicing and stabbing with feral precision, Millie swims upward, determined to reach Leviathan's head. Along the way, Millie slashes her way through Leviathan's body with Scorpius's angelic axe, carving a path of destruction from within. Finally reaching the serpent's cranial cavity, Millie unleashes all her fury. With a primal scream, she begins to destroy Leviathan's brain.
Nice!
Hacking away with Scorpius's holy axe in a wild feral rage. Each strike sends shockwaves of pain through Leviathan's body, but Millie is relentless, determined to finish him once and for all. As Millie lands her final devastating blow, Leviathan's body is engulfed in holy flames. Millie then explosively slices her way out of the sea serpent's head, the flames trailing her as she emerges, triumphant. Leviathan, mortally wounded, lets out a final agonized roar as his colossal form begins to collapse into the ocean. His body, now burning with holy fire, falls apart, sinking slowly into the depths of Envy's sea.
Hooray!
With the sea serpent's corpse creating a massive tidal wave as it crashes into the water, Millie grabs Nifty and shields her from the impact. The two barely manage to stay afloat as the serpent's lifeless body begins to sink deeper and deeper in the ocean. As Leviathan's corpse disappears into the darkest depths, parts of the Envy's Rings ocean, the holy flames continue to consume him until his once gigantic form is lost from sight, swallowed by both the abyss and divine power. Our divine fire. So, Leviathan is killed.
Leviathan is murdered.
So, what do you think? Do you think that would be cool that Millie was the one to kill Leviathan?
I think it's very cool that Millie is the one to kill Leviathan.
You think that should be crossed over into
No.
Why not?
I don't think any of this should be crossed over.
No! I think it would be a really cool epic movie, a feature-length film.
It does feel like a feature-length film, yes.
A really cool feature-length film of Hazbin Hotel.
It feels very long.
With Helluva Boss. An epic Helluva Boss Hazbin Hotel crossover feature-length film. To see in theaters.
In theaters?
Yes. I would watch that in theaters.
I would watch that in theaters,
sure. So
if
it
was like a fully, professionally produced movie, maybe I'd go see it.
So you do want this?
No! I don't want it. I'm saying that if it did happen, then I would go see it. But I don't want it to happen.
Okay. Now, shortly after Leviathan's death, the storms that ravaged Hell finally dissipated. The once dark skies over the Envy Ring cleared for the first time in billions of years.
Whoa.
Revealing a sight that had long been forgotten. Sunshine. Now the sudden calm, both eerie and beautiful, left everyone in stunned silence. The sky seemed almost foreign in the world of eternal darkness, but there it was, shining down in the aftermath of the battle. As the hotel crew and IMP gathered, tending to each other's injuries and assessing the damage, an unexpected figure rejoined them. Scorpius. I did not expect that.
I did not expect Scorpius to come back.
Having believed dead after being thrown hundreds of miles away by Leviathan, Scorpius's return was a relief for everyone. Millie reacted first, running up to him and hugging him tightly, overwhelmed with gratitude that their powerful ally was still alive. But her surprise wasn't over yet. Moxie, with an injured shoulder but very much alive, arrived shortly after.
Surprise!
His sudden appearance sent both Millie and Blitz into shock. Unable to contain their emotion, they both burst into tears, rushing over to Moxie, and embracing him in an emotional tear-filled hug.
Oh.
Millie, barely able to speak, begged Moxie to never leave her again. Moxie, holding her close, assured softly, "I won't. I promise." It was a heart-warming reunion and a brief moment of peace and joy amidst the devastation. Am I right, Clara?
Very nice.
Now, during the reunion, Fergus, looking genuinely awkward for the first time, sheepishly apologized to Moxie for nearly killing him. earlier in the battle. In an uncharacteristically kind gesture, he lifted the smaller imp onto his shoulders, giving him some relief from his injuries, further solidifying their unlikely bond.
How nice.
Because it starts with
Sorry.
As Blitz, still riding the emotional high of the moment, attempted to taunt Stryker, he soon realized that Stryker had mysteriously vanished without a trace. His absence went unexplained, leaving Blitz to wonder where the assassin had gone, but it wasn't long before his attention was drawn elsewhere. Now, while the others reunited, Leviathan stood gazing at the newly revealed beauty of his kingdom, the ocean's calm and the sunlight shining in the horizon. For the first time in his life, he was free. Free from his father's tyranny and the legacy of evil that had overshadowed him for so long. As he admired the hidden beauty of envy, Baggy approached him and complimented his bravery, acknowledging the strength it took to stand against his father. Charlie, now recovered from her injuries, hugged Leviathan tightly, beaming with pride. "I'm so proud of you," she says. Isn't that nice, Clara?
That's very nice.
Now, before the celebration could settle in, Blitz interrupted at the tender moment with Ever the Realist. This is what he says. "Sure, Leviathan's dead and all, but hell's still a wreck," he reminded them, his tone cynical. "Millions dead, the entire place is devastated, and who knows if the Hazbin Hotel even survived that storm. Plus, let's not forget, the Von Eldris name is pretty much toast thanks to dear old Leviathan's rampage." So what do you think?
Sounds like Blitz.
Do you think the Hazbin Hotel survived the storm?
I don't know.
No!
Guess we'll have to find out.
We'll have to rebuild
We
again.
can rebuild. I don't remember that song very well.
Is the finale?
Yeah, I don't remember the finale song very well.
Leviathan, listening to Blitz's harsh but true assessment, remained calm. He then gave a monologue that surprised even Blitz. Leviathan acknowledged the destruction of his father had caused millions of lives lost as a result. He understood the magnitude of his devastation and knew that hell would feel the weight of his father's actions for years, if not centuries to come. But he did not shy away from it. With a newfound determination in his voice, Leviathan vowed to right his father's wrongs. The Von Eldris name may be tarnished, but it's not beyond saving. Leviathan declared, and he'll say, I'll rebuild, I'll work to restore this kingdom, and I'll earn back the trust that my father destroyed. This ring, these people, they deserve better, and I'll give them better. Now his words struck a chord with everyone, even Blitz, ever the cynic.
How nice.
Couldn't help but be moved by Leviathan's resolve. As the new king of envy, Leviathan stood before them, no longer the hesitant prince, but the leader determined to restore not just his family name, but the entirety of the envy ring. So, what do you think? Do you think Leviathan will do it?
I think that the kids got spunk.
Okay. Now, with their grievances settled and Leviathan defeated, Blitz makes an attempt to bid farewell to the Hazbin Hotel crew, knowing that, with their betrayal of Lucifer, he and his team are no longer at the King of Hell's mercy. Because, Moxie destroyed the contract.
Yeah.
However, Fergus steps in, reminding IMP that they should stick with the hotel crew, considering that they had just murdered a sin, a crime that can make them a constant threat in hell. Now, the weight of what they have done meant that, for the foreseeable future, they could be hunted.
Oh, that is very true.
Blitz, reluctant to admit they had no safe place to return to, realizes that Fergus is right. With Lucifer's forces and Hell's many other dangers out for revenge, Blitz knows that his team can't survive on their own anymore. Begrudgingly, he accepts Fergus's offer for them to stick with the hotel crew in exchange for protection from Lucifer and the forces of Hell. As much as it pains Blitz to admit it, it's the only logical choice. So, IMP is hired by the Hazbin Hotel.
Let's go.
Now, to Blitz's annoyance, Charlie is thrilled by the idea of having, quote-unquote, new friends. Her excitement is infectious despite the heavy toll the battle has taken on everyone. Even the normally cynical Blitz couldn't fully snuff out her optimism. With the Hazbin Hotel crew now united with IMP, along with Cletus, Keeney, and Colin, they all begin a long journey back from the Envy Ring to the Hazbin Hotel. Meanwhile, Leviathan stands by the ocean, watching as the teams leave, Ready to begin his life anew, for the first time in his life, he is free from his father's shadow.
Yes.
With Leviathan gone, and the title of the King of Envy now his, Leviathan is determined to rule with the fairness and compassion his father lacked, right? His reign marks a new chapter for the Envy Ring, one filled with hope, freedom, and a chance to fight the wrongs left by his father's legacy.
You said that already.
Did I say that?
Yeah, that was like literally like in the previous paragraph.
Yeah, but as the combined teams leave the Envy Ring and head back to the Hazbin Hotel, the other IMP adversaries, one who had once sought to destroy them, now choose to go their separate ways.
Yep.
Their alliances shattered, their conflicts with IMP set aside for the time being. All except the Cherubs, who, despite their differences with IMP, remain as an odd, if begrudging, ally. Though the battle is over, Blitz knows that their future is uncertain. With Lucifer still in power and hell itself a dangerous place, sticking with the Hazbin Hotel crew might be their best bet for survival. And even though Blitz might roll his eyes at Charlie's endless optimism, deep down he knows that maybe, just maybe, there's a small chance that his strange new alliance might actually work out. As they return to the Hazbin Hotel, Leviathan stands tall, ready to take on responsibilities of a new era, with Blitz, Moxie, Millie, and Luna reluctantly settle into their new reality, one where enemies have become allies and survival depends on finding strength in their unlikely friendship. And that is the end.
What a story. What a story.
So let's do a little review.
A little review.
So,
okay.
Of this entire massive Hazbin Hotel Helluva Boss crossover,
Non-canon crossover.
the non-canon crossover that is baked within Blitz's storyline.
Yes.
What would you rate this story?
Out of what? Like, give me a number.
10.
Out of 10?
Yes. You want 5?
Give me a second. Let me think. I rate it a solid 5.5.
What? Why? What don't you like about it?
I don't like the idea of a Hazbin Hotel Helluva Boss crossover.
Why not?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, jeez. So let's talk about the storyline. What about the storyline didn't you like?
It kind of dragged on a little bit.
Okay.
It was a lot. The thing is that I don't like a lot of action. It's just not something that I like to watch a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy some action, but this is a lot of action. It's like pause, fight, pause a little bit, fight, pause, more fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And how many times did they fight in this whole thing? I think they fought like 10 times. There's like 10 separate like battle scenes.
And they fought Leviathan forever.
They fought Leviathan in like increments of like 5.
And there were like 3 Deus Ex Machinas.
3 Deus Ex Machinas. How did Moxie survive and not drown and get back to the Pride Ring and destroy the contract without Lucifer stopping him? Mm-hmm. Where was Lucifer when his daughter was quite literally about to die?
I guess he doesn't.
Because he didn't want her to die. That was like the thing. He was like, kill everyone but Charlie.
Yeah.
It just dragged on.
And Charlie seemed to be really cool that Lucifer wanted to kill her friends.
Did Blitz say that Lucifer was the one who hired him?
I think so, because he was like, we're contracted to kill you.
But you can say, I was contracted to kill you, and not answer who contracted you.
Yeah, yes. But also that leads to another thing. The IMP joining the Hazbin Hotel.
See, I don't want that to happen.
You don't want that to happen?
No, I want them to stay separate.
Why? Because they're their own thing?
Yeah, because they're their own thing. I think having a crossover in which at the end, like they team up and then at the end they go their separate ways, that's fine. Mm-hmm. I'd be okay with that. But with this, they have to stick together now. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I just think that that's not something that should or would happen.
Okay. I think that would be fun. But
I'm sure you think that would be fun.
But if that would happen, I can't see that happening in the canon.
Exactly.
The only way that would happen is if both shows ended.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because if Hell of the Boss ends at season 4,
Mm-hmm.
and Hazbin Hotel keeps going, and then they do this crossover where the IMP characters join the Hazbin Hotel, now we have a bunch of new characters in the show.
There's already a lot of characters. I don't think they need more characters.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for this storyline. I mean, Clara doesn't want it to be in the canon. I think it needs to be tweaked a bit because we can't have Fergus unless they introduce Fergus later on. Lucifer acts way out of character.
I just don't think that this particular story plot, I think a lot would need to be reworked if it were to become a real thing.
Right. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
What's your rating? I gave you my rating. What's your rating?
100 out of 10.
No. Give me a real rating.
It was a good rating.
Give me a real rating.
If I just judged it on its own,
yes.
Maybe because I do kind of like it. Maybe it's like a 7.
A 7 for you?
10, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because I think it would actually kind of work.
I think that there are some good parts to it, but the biggest deterrent for me, the biggest deterrent isn't the fact that I don't think that it should happen. The biggest deterrent is the amount of stuff that's like packed in there, and the amount of fighting.
Okay. That there was a fight in.
There's like practically a fight every other scene.
Yeah. There was the fight in the nightclub.
There's the fight in the nightclub. There's the fight with the...
In the motel.
In the motel.
There's the fight in the deep end.
In the deep end. There's the fight with the gang before that.
There was 2 underground fights.
There's 2 underground fights. That's 5 more.
There was the fight with Serpentius on this highway.
There's the fight with the Serpentius on the highway.
And we never see him again.
We don't see him again. He's gone from that point. I think he dies in between those things. Technically, there's another fight in the deep end because they had that initial fight and then they stopped.
And then they go into
and then they fight again.
Baxter's ship.
On Baxter's ship, and then they fight there.
And then they fight in Hellantis.
And then they fight in Hellantis.
And then they fight in the throne room.
In the throne room. And then they fight...
and then they join forces and fight Leviathan.
They join forces and fight Leviathan, like, several times. And that's like 13. That's a lot of fighting.
What would you have it done instead?
What would I have it done? I'd cut down the amount of fights that happen.
Okay.
So, say, like, the fight at the motel. Say, cut that out. The second fight with the, what is it, the Hellraisers?
The Underground.
The Underground, thank you. I keep forgetting their names. The second fight with the Underground, cut that out. That doesn't need to happen. Lower the amount of times, the amount of waves of attack on Leviathan.
The Deus Ex Machina.
Yes.
With Alistair's like, I'll save you, and then Rolf is like, I'll save you, and then Leviathan comes out, I'll save you.
Exactly.
So yeah, and then also you don't want IMP to join.
No.
To get hired by the Hazbin Hotel.
That.
All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it of this storyline. Clara says it shouldn't happen. I say maybe. Could be fun.
With a lot of major tweaking.
Okay. All right. I've been Nathaniel Avila.
And I've been Clara Avila.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to a Vision podcast, home of Wacky Talkies, The Kingdom, Evil Exists, and many more.